What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. It is a brand new week. I am Mr. Cincinnati, and finally, the podcast dad is back. It has been a bit of a weird week without having you by my side day in and day out. Happy belated Father's Day to you. I see that you are wearing one of the gifts that the podcast mom got you, so the floor is yours to tell us all about your day, buddy.
Happy to be back. Didn't really have much of a day, just kind of chilled, and now we're here. But this one's for you, Kyle. You tweeted me a long time ago. It said, "Live up to the gimmick, pal." I'm right here. I am under the learning tree. Everybody needs to get under it.
And we are under 7 weeks away until SummerSlam, which we will be at with a couple of other main event guys. It is going to be a hell of a weekend. But before we kick things off, hi, hello, Kyle. Good to see you, buddy. And then, thanks for helping us out last week and just everything that you just do in general. You're a good guy. Also, thank you again to King Chris and the Frat Daddy Bryce Cannon for helping me out last week. We do acknowledge the king around here. Before we get into our episode today, we do have a guest joining us real quick. Before we get into that, just a few housekeeping things as always. Please hit that QR code in the top left corner. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Help us to grow this community. We're at 254 YouTube subscribers. We are trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you know even one person that would enjoy this episode or this podcast in general, please share it with them. We've got great content. We've got full episodes. We've got interviews. We do some great work over here, not just here, but also over at the Main Event Wrestling Network. Make sure that you're following at mainevent_net. We've got podcasts. We've got fan art. We've got comedy. We've got main event mixers, a whole lot going on. And be on the lookout for some exclusive content as SummerSlam rolls around. Before we introduce our guests, just one cool announcement. If you have not been seeing this on social media today, we will be sponsoring ETW Summer Madness 2. We are one of the official sponsors. Matches to be determined soon, but this will be live from the Mecca, an iconic arena in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey on July 27th. So cannot wait to see how that card shapes up. But let's get into today's show. Oh, wait. Where are my manners? Buy our merch.
I was sipping from it and I was waiting.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's I'm trying to make sure that I'm remembering everything. But as always, support our merch store. We've got mugs. We've got tank tops, T-shirts, beanies, not hats. Podcast Dad won't let me forget it. I feel like at this point, I just need to not make the beanie because this is just that's the fun of it, is that we've got beanies but not hats.
It's 105 degrees outside.
Never worn a beanie that hot?
I don't need a beanie.
Wouldn't hurt.
It would actually.
Be a lot cooler if you did. All right. Okay. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. We're going to kick things off with a special guest returning to the show for the second time. He is one of the many, many colorful personalities and voices of Absolute Intense Wrestling in Cleveland, Ohio. They have their event Shook Ones coming up this Saturday night, streaming live on Triller. Please welcome Dustin Alberty to the show. Dustin, how are you, man? Welcome back.
Hi guys, I'm back. We're here.
It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
No, anytime. I mean, come on, Ohio against the world. So we got to help you out here.
You guys said you're coming to Cleveland for SummerSlam?
Yes, we will be there.
Are you guys coming early?
We're still working on. We're still working on what they were actually coming up, but gonna try to do a jam-packed weekend up there. So it's definitely gonna be a good time.
There's an AIW show that Thursday. And I can promise you, there's a lot of fun stuff being talked about. We'll just kind of see where it lands on what ends up happening. But it'll definitely be it's at the same venue that GCW will be running on Friday nights. So.
Okay, cool. Kyle, you hear that? Sounds like we got one more card to add to that list there, because I think we might actually do. Kyle and I might go to GCW after SmackDown. It's very, very possible. But anyway, Dustin, let's get into it. Catch us up. What is going on in the wonderful world of AIW these days, my man?
Well, we just did our biggest show ever. We did 854 people was the final number.
Wow.
Kurt Angle was there. I have a autograph behind me. It was awesome. Really good show. Energy was up the entire time. It was like the AIW version of the Rumble Royale, if you will.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Won by the Duke, which we'll get into here for the Shook Ones card. He won it with some dastardly deeds, and John Thorne, the owner of AIW, was not happy about it because he hates seeing the Duke succeed, which makes sense. But yeah, like I said, AIW this weekend, Tadmore Shrine, Akron, Ohio. AIW Shook Ones. It's the rap show, as it's known by in the AIW crowd. It's no rules, anything goes, every single match. There's no holds barred. Fans bring weapons. Please feel free, bring some weapons. To an extent.
I was gonna say, have you done
some
this before?
suggestions here?
Nah. Like if you want to bring thumbtacks, bring thumbtacks, but don't bring like a scissor board. Nobody will use your scissor board. You'll be wasting your money bringing a scissor board.
What's the craziest one thing you've seen brought?
Probably a saw board.
Jeez.
It was like saws, like teeth up.
Oh my god.
And it it was very quickly. Everybody was like, "No, it's not happening." I was just like, "We're not using that."
I like it. Well, tell us about this card here. I did come across one match. I'm going to get the graphic up. Dominic Guarini taking on Shaw Mason, another former guest of our show. Make sure to check out that interview on our archives as well. In addition to this match, what else do we have going on here? What can fans expect, and what can they get excited about?
So with that match in particular, if you show the graphic again, it's a pure rules match. So I just said that everything goes all night. This match, strictly under pure rules. There will be judges there. They'll be done the exact way that it's been done in ROH since the beginning of time. Pure rules. And then speaking of pure rules in ROH, somebody that everybody knows, Jerry Lynn, will be there. Big meet and greet with Jerry Lynn. If you're a professional wrestler or training to be a professional wrestler, there will be a Jerry Lynn seminar that afternoon at 1:00. So, I mean, it's a huge opportunity to come learn from one of the top producers in AEW right now. Like, come see him.
Sounds exciting.
So you got Dom Bershaw, which has been a bit of a rivalry that's been building up in a pure rules match.
Perfect.
What else we got? I have it in front of me. I came prepared this time. Last time I was not prepared. We've got in the kind of like where the main event's been lately, we got Eric Taylor, the Intense Champion.
Also another former guest on our show.
Yes, teaming up with Chuck Stone and Elijah Dean and Zach Nystrom, Money Shot. Together, Cash is King with the Duke. Duke, we'll talk about him later. They're going up against Kaplan, the Philly Marino Experience, and Wes Barkley. It's just going to be a 6-man tag match. Anything goes. Kaplan's a madman. Wes Barkley's a madman. Chuck Stone's a madman. Eric Taylor and Money Shot, they're a little more... I don't want to say they're not keen to use weapons, but they're going to definitely be out of their element with the team they're going up against. And then of course Philly Marino Experience. They've been known to bleed from time to time, so they're not scared to get their hands dirty either.
Well, we do like blood.
Yes, we love blood. I can promise you at least a little bit of blood at this show. I don't know about how much, but I can promise you at least a little bit.
Okay, all right.
We've got Alec Price for Sam Holloway. Alec Price, if you watch independent professional wrestling, one of the best out there today. Like,
facts.
No touching him. And then Sam Holloway, who, if you have a keen eye, you've probably seen him on WWE TV doing a lot of extra work lately.
Okay.
Nice. 6 foot. I think it's like 6'3", 6'4". He's a very big man. He's getting better every time you see him. This is a huge match for him. It's going to be a big test. See where he's at as far as like the upper echelon of indie workers go. It'll be great. Let's see. We've got Derek Dillinger versus Trey Lamar versus Tyler Jordan versus another AEW guy. Max Caster will be there.
Ooh, so, Platinum Max.
Platinum Max Caster will be, I'm sure, spinning bars. Last time he was in AEW once before, facing off against Derek Dillinger. So it'll be a little bit of a return for them in the ring together. Trey Lamar, hometown guy in Akron, one of the best high flyers on the indies today, extremely underrated. And then Tyler Jordan, who's just a newcomer. He's less than a year in. He's immensely talented. He has all of the tools. He just has to put them together and become the star that everybody thinks that he can be. Let's see. More more multi-man matches and more multi-woman matches. We've got Katie Arquette versus Zaya Brookside versus Jocelyn Navarro versus Gabby Forza.
Oh wow! Okay,
little women's four-way action there. Kind of the four women who AIW's kind of been playing with lately. Trying to build the women's division. This is like a good way to kind of see where they're all at. I hate him too, Calvin G. Lewis. I hate him too. My guy. I'm talking about you next, so stick around. So yeah, it'll be a good show for the women. Just going to be with those four women, it's going to probably be a bit of a slugfest, honestly. A lot of power there. A lot of power. And then since Calvin G. Lewis just popped in, one half of members only, him, Malcolm Cambridge, they had a bit of a run-in with, I thought he was my friend, but I'm not sure now because he was a little mean to me on the X. And they are being called out by Nathan Zagura, the color analyst for the Cleveland Browns on the radio. They beat him up.
Damn.
They beat him up. He got a number in the gauntlet somehow, wanted to be a wrestler. Found out real quick it's not easy to be a wrestler. He got one over on Calvin G. Lewis and got him eliminated, and then Calvin G. Lewis and Malcolm Cambridge kind of took care of him, bruised his ribs, threw him into the guardrail, beat him up real good. And he's calling them out. I don't know exactly what he has planned. I don't know exactly what they have planned, but I can promise you that it will be fireworks. That's somebody who does talking for a living like Nathan Zagura is coming up against maybe two of the biggest trash talkers I've ever met in my entire life in members only. And then we're talking about multi-man matches. AIW had like one of the best multi-man matches I've ever seen in my entire life at the last show.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember who was in it. It was Alec Price, Marino Tenaglia, Mikey Montgomery, Dex Royal. Oh man, I'm trying to remember who was in it. But like, if you go back and watch the last AIW show at Gauntlet for the Gold on Triller TV Plus, that's where you will also be able to stream this show. It was just, everything was hitting perfectly. It was just one of the best multi-man matches, and AIW, known for their multi-man matches, have another one here. Very student heavy. A bunch of graduates from the AIW Academy. You got Austin James, Vic Weiss, Tyson Riggs, Mikey Montgomery, Shelby Wilder, and then not an AIW Academy guy, but Dex Royal, who, again, I know I gushed about him at the last show, or on the last time I was on here. Another just one of the best guys on the indies. Just unbelievable talent. And then in the main event, we've got the Duke versus Isaiah Broner in a steel cage. So at Gauntlet for the Gold, the Duke was eliminated, but the referees they were attending to a bit of a scuffle outside the ring with Joshua Bishop and the returning and now gone once again, Ethan Page. Ethan Page, he showed up and then he just, then 2 days later he was on NXT and we're like, oh, okay, cool. And so yeah, that was happening outside. Duke got eliminated. Refs didn't see him. He got back in the ring, tossed out Isaiah Broner, wins the Gauntlet for the Gold, which John Thorne did not like the nefarious means in which he did it. And he said he was sick of Cassius King getting involved. And he said, you're putting up your shot at Absolution, which is the big show of the year.
Wow,
he's putting it up. Yeah, no, Calvin G. Lewis is not wrong. He's not wrong. Duke is probably going to die. It's definitely, he's in a steel cage with Isaiah Broner, and it's just not, it's not anywhere I'd want to be. That's for sure. Especially because Isaiah Broner, he lost the title to Chuck Stone at Gauntlet for the Gold. He kind of I don't want to say stole Cool Ass Andy's spot at the end of the Gauntlet for the Gold, but he incapacitated him and took over. So they ended up, now he's Isaiah Broner not very happy because the Duke helped Chuck Stone win to an extent, and Duke's gonna die. It's basically what it comes down to. In a steel cage, anything goes. Weapons are allowed. Fans bring the weapons.
Don't bring any saw boards.
It also don't bring a saw board. Don't bring a scissor board. Let's keep
Sounds like thumbtacks are okay though.
Thumbtacks are okay. We'll do like like small sharps are okay. Small sharps.
Small sharps.
Small sharps. Don't bring big sharps. Small sharps. No glass, and no big sharps.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
No, won't do syringes.
Oh no.
No syringes. You could bring a gusset plate. I doubt anybody would use it. It's like that.
That's the word I was looking for.
Gusset plates? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody use it. And that's the show. I mean, it's a pretty packed show. It's a very it's a sleeper show. I will say there is a surprise in store. I will not divulge at all what it is, but I will tell you, Ethan Page showing up as a surprise is huge. This is just as big, if not bigger.
Okay.
Just
what a
unannounced, no announcing it. It's just going to be a surprise. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, well, you missed out. But yeah, you should definitely show up. Tickets are still available. If you go to AI Wrestling on any of the social medias, go on X at AI Wrestling. Find me at Rev Tintin. We have the link. The link is available. AIWrestling.com. You can find tickets as well. You can also sign up, like I said, for that Jerry Lynn or for the Jerry Lynn seminar if you're a professional wrestler out there. In Akron, Ohio. It's like 40 minutes outside of Cleveland. It's very central. If you're in Chicago, if you're in Cincinnati, if you're in Pittsburgh, if you're in Buffalo, any of those like 4 or 5 hour drives, just take the drive. It's going to be a very good seminar. Like if you're a pro wrestler and you've never done a seminar, or you don't know what a seminar is like, I can promise you it'll be some of the best money you've spent on your career. I've done a couple seminars, wrestling wise, commentary wise, just business wise, and you end up coming out just so much better than you went in there going in, like things you would never think of, things like that. And then I'll also announce here, I don't think it's been announced publicly, but
no. Okay. We're hearing it here first.
We have a new after party spot.
Nice.
So AIW, I think John Thorne says that he tries to get it's a B+ show with an A+ after party. Is how he tries to do this. And like I've got in touch. One of the students helped me get in touch with this bar in Akron. It's called the Green Dragon Inn. Okay. It's like a D&D bar.
Interesting.
So it's got a bunch of cosplayers. It's like you're walking into a castle. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into going there to check it out and talk to the owner, and it's awesome. Any of our fans that are there at the show, anybody who, if you can't make the show, you just want to come party with everybody afterwards, it's open to the public. It's not like you have to, you get a special card to get in. Show up. Green Dragon Inn in Akron, Ohio. It's downtown. Plenty of parking across the street. It's great. I'm real excited to go there.
Shit, go to a castle and party with wrestlers. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
there's hidden rooms. It's a craziest place. I don't know how we've the fact that we found it and it looks so nice and it works so well is absolutely amazing to me.
That's awesome.
Love that. Well, yeah, we absolutely cannot wait to check this show out. And again, if you are in the Akron area, make sure to go to the Green Dragon, hang out, talk to wrestlers, shoot the shit. If you're a wrestler or training to be a wrestler, check out Jerry Lynn's seminar as well. Yes. Don't miss AIW Shook Ones this weekend, streaming live on Triller. Tickets are still available now. Dustin, thank you so much for joining us once again. Cannot wait to check you guys out. Sounds like we're going to be adding this show next month to our SummerSlam weekend list.
Yeah, we've got.
So yeah, definitely can't wait to connect in person and give them hell this weekend. All right.
Yeah, for sure. That's so that we have July 13th. We have Absolution, and then August 1st, SummerSlam weekend. We've got AIW Against the World.
Hell yeah! Well, make sure everybody that you are following Absolute Intense Wrestling on Twitter. At AI Wrestling. I believe they are at AI Wrestling on Instagram as well.
Yes.
Dustin, always great to see you, and don't be a stranger. Hope to have you back on soon.
Yep, great to see you guys. I'll definitely be back.
Sounds good. Love it. Take care, man. Good to see you.
Later, guys.
I mean,
great guy.
Going to a castle fun to have party with wrestlers. Come on.
Right. If 9-year-old me heard that, that'd be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, 9-year-old. Yeah, now even better. 35-year-old, you heard that. How old you are?
So I'll be 34 next week. Okay, leave me alone. All right. But yeah, we got a question from Will Fettuccini. Who wins the Money in the Bank matches tonight? That is a great question. We are going to save that for closer to the end. Clash at the Castle was indeed this weekend. We've got a little bit to talk about here. 5 matches, all championship matches.
5, 6.
It's 5.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're good. First up, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship. The American Nightmare getting the W. No surprise there. We got some blood on a PLE for the first time in a very long time. Your thoughts?
I'm not surprised. Come on. It's Cody Rhodes. Dude's going to be able to do what he wants right now. Like, people are upset with this run. I don't know why. Like, it's been very good. Like, it's everything we've kind of wanted. Like, it's been different than Roman. It's been different than, anything we've gotten before. I'm happy with the run. Is it not, is it better when the babyface chases? Maybe, but let's enjoy this run that Cody's getting because, dudes, this is the top babyface we've seen in this company since, like, peak John Cena. So, let's let the storyline play out. It looks like we might be getting Solo and Cody at Money in the Bank, but I also saw Randy Orton look at that title.
Yeah. Everybody and their mom just, that quick little glance. They know what they're doing with those camera angles these days, man. And camera angles were a big part of that show the other night.
Can never trust a Viper. That's what have we learned in the 20 plus years Randy's been in this business? Like, just trust him.
Don't pull the Viper.
Don't do it, Cody. Don't do it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the finish too. I know people were kind of upset with the finish, but if you were in that situation, I'd probably quit too. Like, hey, please don't hit me with the stairs. Like, I'm done. Like, I quit.
Yeah.
Like, we saw the same thing with Christian in AEW, and nobody hated it either. So I thought they had a really good match. I thought it was a good finish. It's a great way to open the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a pleasant surprise. We had a feeling that Drew McIntyre was going to close, being kind of the hometown hero, and the marketing being basically based around him. So this was a fun way to kick off the show. Next up, we had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships triple threat. Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler taking on Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, as well as the super team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and they shocked the world. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn getting the win here. First women's tag team title run, I believe, for them in WWE.
They had the NXT.
Okay, all right.
Remember, because they when those went away, there was unified.
That's right.
Shayna and Ronda.
That's right. Oh yeah. Remember Ronda Rousey?
Try not to.
Yeah. Anyway, this was a massive win here, and I don't think that anybody had this on their prediction card. I think it was either King Chris or Mr. OTM. I forget. It's been a busy day. One of them did allude that this could be a possibility, but this was not what I saw coming here. What'd you think?
Hindsight being 2020, I can see why they did it now, because Piper Niven was going to lose.
Yeah.
And Drew, I think we all thought Drew was going to lose, kind of. Like, we knew Punk was going to get involved some way, somehow.
Yes, we did know that. I did not expect Drew McIntyre to walk out with the title. I know that people want to. I know that people want him to, but I'll save that for that match.
Getting a hometown win, this was probably the most likely and most logical choice out of those three, right? Because we never thought Bianca and Jade with the tag titles was going to be long term. We knew that.
Yeah.
This was a little surprising with how quickly, but they didn't get pinned, so they have a rematch coming their way, probably at Money in the Bank, where we're going to see the tension between the two. I think that's setting up for SummerSlam. I really do. I think that's what we're going to get, and good. Like, as much as we want them to have a dominant title run, there's not enough teams. There's just not. So let's get the titles on an established team, and one that has been in NXT and done very well. A gimmick change that has worked because the witches weren't really doing it for me. But now you have a team, and you can start to establish your tag team division without two single stars kind of dominating it on a crazy run or whatever they were trying to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's entirely fair, and I mean they're still protected because they didn't take the pin. Overall, I enjoyed the match. There were some spots that weren't so great. I mean that it just was an okay day at the office, in some ways. But yeah, no, it's totally fine. I do think that AJ was talking to one of the rest before the top of the I Quit match, and they were doing some talking about that top rope there. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get a real story on it, but, that seemed to impact at least Jade Cargill with that springboard spot. You can't help but feel for her. She definitely didn't look happy after that match, and Bianca's trying to get her to keep her chin up. That's okay. I mean, things happen. People have bad days at work all the time. We move on from them, but, yeah, no, this was a solid win for Alba Fire Isla Dawn, mostly because this is a tag team that is so incredibly talented. I mean, Kaylee Ray was one of the biggest names in European wrestling for a very long time before NXT UK, and it just seemed like once they shut down, it was hard for her to kind of regain that momentum over here in the States, and I think this is definitely a damn good start for them. So I'd like to see, what they do tonight on Raw. I know that we've got some Money in the Bank qualifying matches coming up, but I do think they at least need to start figuring out some people who should be in the mix for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Actually, there was a video I did see on Twitter today that Jordan Grace posted.
With Ivy Nile?
Yeah. That would be a very, very, very scary tag team to have around.
Yeah.
Who knows what who knows what this relationship will continue to look like, but it's going to evolve.
Who knows? The Knockouts have a tag team division.
They do.
So
they absolutely do. I mean,
I see Masha Slamovich on WWE TV. I'm going to go insane.
Oh, I'm going to flip my shit. Yeah. That's Also, real quick, we've got 85 people watching on X/Twitter. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, throw them in those comments. We'll try to get to as many of them as we can. Yeah, anything at all. Interact with us. We're just trying to grow this community.
He is about everything. You got to be on the learning tree.
This is why I'm ready to take a chainsaw to your learning tree.
You won't ever. It's bulletproof. Good.
Trees are bulletproof?
Yes, they are. You would know that if you were under the learning tree.
Okay. All right. Okay. Damn it. Anyway.
I know, you're wrong. That's crazy. Next match.
I'm not wrong.
Next match.
Quite frankly, I think he could kiss my ass. Anyway.
No thanks.
This match, I don't know. This sounds like we got a little bit to talk about here. Chad Gable, Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Championship. Chad Gable coming up short once again.
Yeah.
Man, this is this is tough. But I did see something on Twitter earlier today, and this is just a theory. What if all these losses are building up to a Chad Gable run with the briefcase? Would you rather have him be Intercontinental Champion or Money in the Bank winner?
Intercontinental Champion.
Okay.
I don't see him on the level of a... Again, when we talk about established main event stars, and I know you have to establish more of them, he's not there yet. And you can't tell me that he is. This 6-month run has been fantastic. It really has.
Yeah.
He's not at world championship level yet. He's just not for me. Like, I can't see him feuding with Cody Rhodes and holding that program. I just can't. That's just me. It's not believable quite yet. Maybe a run with the briefcase to get him to that main event level, but I would much rather see him win this IC title now that it is established and we have, the Gunther reign and we have everything that we had with it, and it feels like a very important title. I think that's a great first step. We've seen in the past where they kind of just get it and they don't know what to do with it next. I mean, Otis is a perfect example. He won the Money in the Bank. They had no idea what to do with him. Mr. Kennedy won the Money in the Bank. No idea what to do with him. Like, I give him this mid-card title run and let's see him go full-fledged heel. Let's get him with the Creed brothers. Let's do this. Let's get it going. And then let's kind of get him to that level. I just don't see him quite there yet.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think that we're seeing, with the work that he's doing, I think he is slowly getting to the point where he at least eclipses that mid-card He's all right. He's about the top of the mid card. Looks like he's flirting with that lower.
Maybe.
Yes. Like that's kind of that weird balance he's in right now because of how good of a job he's doing right now. You know, I think because at this point, logically, if we're going to bring logic into this, what reason does Sami Zayn have to give Chad Gable another shot at the title?
Zero.
And that's, you know, and I don't know. I mean, what we did see in that match, they had Maxine in the walking boot, and they had the spot where he does the, you know, accidentally chop blocks her. One way that I could think of that we know that they won't actually do is if he does finally snap on Alpha Academy and threatens to put her in the ankle lock, and Sami comes out and says, "I'll give you a match." Like that would be. I mean, that's the best thing that I could think of as a reason to get another crack at the title. But right now, he's come up short against Gunther a couple of times. He's come up against Sami short a couple of times. Like
I'll say it's his 5th time.
I mean. To be fair, we also did see Drew McIntyre lose 10 straight world title matches or title matches.
But Drew is a main event star. I don't think Chad.
But I'm just saying the stories are similar where we're seeing these losses. Like that's all that I'm saying is if we are going to think about realistic justification of, you know, giving him another shot, I don't see how it. I
think he's got to go that full-fledged sadistic heel to get on another title shot. Like kind of like you just said, like force Sami Zayn to give him one last chance. I would be totally fine with that. But the story has to be there for it. And that's when I think you finally get the Creed brothers to join Gable and do that. So we'll see. Yeah. I've enjoyed the story. That final shot of him just staring at Otis was pretty good. Yeah. But I'm excited to see what they do next. And I haven't been able to say that about Chad Gable in a very long time. He did resign with the company, and the statement that he came out with saying, you know, I'm with Triple H in charge is the best spot I've been in the company ever, and I don't want to ruin that. So he's going to be around. So obviously he's in their plans. Let's see.
Sure.
But I want to get the Creed brothers with him. Like this has been a nice slow build, but I'm ready for the next step.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, we're thinking it might be a 6-man tag match between, you know, Cody, KO, Randy Orton, you know, taking on the Bloodline potentially at Money in the Bank. I know. I'm just saying. I think there's room for another one of those types of matches, or at least have Creed brothers taking on Otis and Tozawa potentially on that card just to help further this along. But we digress. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how they build it tonight. But we do have to move on to the next match. Bayley, Piper Niven for the WWE Women's Championship. Man, dude, I absolutely love Piper Niven.
Bayley's song sucks.
Oh, it's terrible. It's abysmal.
Oh, my God. She came out after Piper Niven came out, and Piper Niven's theme song is not, you know, nothing crazy.
I like the old version of that song.
The Dewdrop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, they could have kept that. They could have kept that with the Piper Niven. That's yeah.
But like Bayley's music hit, and the crowd was just kind of dead because it was just, I don't know if they were just hyped for Piper Niven and Bayley was kind of the heel going it, but like, oh, that theme song just kind of sucks the air out of the room, and I hate it. I hate it. But yes, Piper Niven, great showing. Chelsea Green, I was wrong. I was wrong, dude. She is.
One more time for the people in the back.
I don't think she's going to do what you thought she was going to do, but
probably not. But she can help Piper get there.
I don't even think that. Like, she has a hold in that company because she is so good on television and she is so good at maximizing her minutes. She's so great in that role. Dude, she's. I am thoroughly impressed, especially with that first run we got where it just didn't work. This is really good, and I thought she was Chelsea the MVP of the match. I really did.
No, Chelsea Green is a damn delight. This was, I mean, I don't think that either of us expected Piper to win this match, but she, you know, definitely was the the other side of that Drew McIntyre coin as far as popular Scotland stars that everybody wanted to see at that show. This best singles match of her main roster run, certainly. Bayley, this was another way to get her ready for a similar opponent that she's going to have at the end of the summer in Nia Jax. I think we're going to see that feud start to kick into full gear this weekend potentially, and seeing kind of what's that.
Probably.
Oh,
because I don't see her wrestling on Money in the Bank.
I don't think so. No, I think that's going to have to be more about Liv and this Judgment Day storyline. This is one we'll throw out there from Lil Fetchini. Dom thinks that Dom is going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match. I don't personally see that for the men. I think it's hard to deny Braun Breaker, I think.
Yes, it is. I think there's another. I think there's another member of Judgment Day that's going to win the Money. Finn
certainly could, and again, qualifying matches will start tonight. I'm not sure if there have been any announced, but there have not been any announced.
There have been.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what they are. If you could pull them up,
double check as we go. Yeah. I know it's two triple threat matches.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. As always, guys, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do it. Make sure to support our merch store as well. If you're a fan of independent wrestling, you're going to love our Support Independent Wrestling t-shirt. But as the podcast dad is looking up the preview for tonight's Raw, where does Piper go from here with Chelsea?
That's follow-up. I could easily see them go back into... they could go back into the tag team division, and I wouldn't be upset with that because, again, you need that depth to be to have a division. You need the depth. I don't know. I don't think Piper Niven's been built up enough to have a world title run quite yet. I think if we introduce that mid-card title here soon, that would be. I think you have two contenders right there, and I'd totally be fine with that. I can see that, yeah. I can see that for sure.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun. Real quick, Money in the Bank qualifying matches: Jey Uso, Finn Balor, Rey Mysterio, Selena Vega, Io Sky, Kiana James.
Okay. I could see Kiana winning that match.
No, Io Sky's winning that.
I'm just saying. Io doesn't necessarily need to be pinned, but that's part of this downward spiral that we're starting to see from her right now.
Yeah, she's gonna lose the Money in the Bank.
Or she could just lose the qualifier right now. That's all I'm saying.
I know the reports are about Jey Uso winning. I really don't want Jey Uso to win.
I know you don't, but I wouldn't mind it.
Unless it leads to a failed cash-in and we finally get our Bloodline Civil War.
What is it with you and failed cash-ins? That's what you wanted for Priest, or you wanted it to expire like a coupon?
Yeah, I wanted it to expire.
That's still a fail.
It is a fail, but it would have been different.
If you're not first, you're last kind of things.
It would have been different. It wouldn't have.
You indifferent. All right.
Go to the main event.
Yep. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre World Heavyweight Championship. First and foremost, Damian Priest is, I don't know, he's just a G.
He said there's no injury.
There is no injury.
Report today.
That could have been a hell of a lot worse. Remember that time that Kenny Omega went for the knee to Moxley through that cage, and only by a grandmother's prayer did he not break his leg in that match. It shatter all his shit. And Priest could have found himself in the same situation.
He did.
Yeah, he sold it well too. I was talking to Bryce Cannon throughout that entire match, and he was concerned at how bad it was looking, and that just tells us how good that Damian Priest is at selling and making us believe that that spot really messed his shit up, and thankfully it didn't, because that would have been so bad for all the momentum related to Judgment Day if he did have to go down. Losing both of your champions, and they both are in that same faction that is supposed to get you through the summer.
Yep.
That would have been
like a 30-day span. That would have been bad. Yeah. That would have been bad. But a hell of a match. I really enjoyed the match. Drew and Priest did very, very well. I love, yes, we will get to Punk in a second. I love how impressed I was with Priest. That is the Priest.
Yeah.
that was like, okay, this guy's a future world champion.
Yeah.
And that was the Priest that showed up at Clash was, I am a future world champion. I am the world champion, and I should be in the main event scene. And he lived up to it. And then at the press conference going, please doubt me. Continue to doubt me. And then calling out Gunther, I was like, dude, now I want to see that match. Because he did so well against Drew that I'm like, I want to see this match now. Like that. Yeah. Priest, I said Chelsea Green was the MVP of the women's match. Priest was the MVP of the night for me because just how well he did and just I thought he kicked ass.
Hands down, Chelsea Green.
Okay, shut up.
So
get on the learning track.
Yeah, whatever. So the big story of that match, ref bump that we see, McIntyre hits a Claymore, waiting for a ref to come out. Whoever came up with this idea deserves a raise. We get a camera shot of a referee. I don't know about you, but I thought I thought it was a ref, and then we see that 2 count stop, and then it was just like, and then he gives him the meme, man. Now I'm hoping that turns into a T-shirt. That's got to be the next CM Punk shirt here.
He already put it out on Instagram.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is going to be an all-timer of a match.
Did you see his press conference?
I did, and he said that whoever thought that this should start with a Hell in a Cell match does not need to be booking professional wrestling. I think we're getting
donuts.
Yeah. That
was great.
Oh yeah, 1 year ago today.
Mm-hmm.
1 year ago today, CM Punk made his return to AEW for an episode of Collision, and if we thought back then that he would end up back here, wouldn't have believed you. But I mean, it looks like we're headed for either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam here.
SummerSlam. I saw a report today that said Punk will be cleared at the end of July.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's cool then. And this way, this is a nice program to carry into the fall. And
cost him the Money in the Bank. Oh my God, Punk cost him the Money in the Bank. They can just keep doing this. Yeah, because the first time they get their hands on each other, like this is one of those ones where at SummerSlam, like you don't even really want to wait for introductions on this match. I think you have to book it to where they're just ready. It's like, okay, fine. I've been wanting to get my hands on you since January. I mean, that is. Yep.
Long term.
And people upset with the finish. They got you. Yeah. They got you, Karen. Like you want to see this match. I want to see this match, just like you said. I want to see this match so badly. And I'm really hoping we're going to be live for that first one because I feel like that crowd is just going to be electric, and then they're going to touch and it's going to explode. Like it's just going to be like this. They built this up so well, though.
So where do we go after Drew versus Punk? I mean, the thing is, I think that once Punk is cleared, we do have to start looking at him potentially in the world title situation.
I think this is going to be like a trio of matches.
Oh, I know that it will because I mean at this point, with Bad Blood potentially making a return and taking place on the exact day that original Hell in a Cell match took place between Shawn and Taker, I would say that that match should be the blow off for this feud.
Well, there's rumors about Survivor Series being in Chicago again.
Interesting. Okay.
So you could do that as well. Or you could have Punk, go for the title, and Drew cost Punk in his hometown, and then you get the blow off. Like there's so many ways you can go with this.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the blow off is you also don't want to take too long with it because there will likely not be a December pay-per-view. So I mean, at that point, if you don't have that blow off in time, then you're looking into January for the Rumble. I don't necessarily know that they'd want to book
January. Seth Rollins is going to be back.
Yeah,
we're going to get that. We're going to get Punk and Rollins at Mania.
That would be nice. Yeah, and that's the thing. What's nice about the world title picture right now is we do have all these moving parts. We've got Gunther, we've got Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins when he comes back. I think, and I mean we're a ways away on this, but there is no way that Gunther does not walk out with the world title at SummerSlam.
We're a ways away.
I know, but I'm just saying right now, I just don't see it.
Let me see who wins Money in the Bank.
Okay.
Because let me see who wins Money in the Bank. Because I mean, there is a way that he doesn't walk out if it turns into a triple threat match.
We'll write it down. We'll save it for another time. Mr. OTM also has this to say. We're not on the topic, but he's got some fantasy booking from someone on his timeline. If we want him to share, you already know the answer to that. Just throw it in the chats. We want interaction here on the show. This is probably one of our best episodes we've ever done. And
also, I don't know if I can do 2 Big Fours in a calendar year, so maybe not Chicago, Mr. OTM.
Mark me as a maybe.
I have a family. I'm like Heath Slater. I got kids.
All right, so Otis versus Gable versus Zayn. Otis wins there. Chad defeats Otis at SummerSlam. It's not bad. It's. I mean, that one of my favorite things about the Attitude Era was how many people they did try to put the Intercontinental title on to see what it would do for them. I think Otis would be the perfect. Would be the perfect project right now, especially transitional champion. This also just fuels that story of Chad Gable just absolutely going mental, because I mean, as crazy as he's been lately, he still hasn't necessarily snapped, Yeah. That's kind of what we're waiting for, is that powder keg to finally explode, and that is one way to make that powder keg explode. So yeah, I also don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
That's fair.
That's just my opinion, because I think we did a lot to reestablish the Intercontinental Championship. Let's not hot potato it right now. That's just me.
That's fair. I mean, I think, again, when done properly, transitional champions work. That's just me.
When done properly.
Yeah. But another thing we haven't really talked about is something else that we could be seeing on Raw tonight. Thanks to Little Fettuccine again for providing this. So Uncle Howdy start or end the show. It looks like we're gonna see a real step.
He'll be there.
As far as what we're gonna see, I don't know. I think with something like, that countdown does stop, I think, right at 8:00, if I did my math right from the QR code. But I think for something like this, there has to be that element of surprise still. As far as I think
there is. Who's he going after?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying. I don't necessarily want to see something like the start of a show where how we get just a traditional bloodline or just like something like that, like that generic entrance to start a segment. There has to be that element of what targets being gone after. But I wouldn't necessarily treat this like they did at Extreme Rules with the original Bray return, as far as kind of setting that up as essentially the de facto main event for that show. I do think there needs to be a little bit more of the element of surprise here. So I'm going to say neither. I think it'll happen sometime in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I like the element of surprise thing. But I don't know. Maybe that's the direction Sami Zayn goes. I don't know. Maybe we get just Chad Gable and Otis at SummerSlam, just a match.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't logically, I know we're talking illogical, but I don't know who he goes after. So you got me.
Yeah, well, we will certainly find out. Any final thoughts on Clash at the Castle? Preview of Monday Night Raw? Anything else?
Good show. It was a good show. Definitely not crowd of the year. I will say that.
No.
They were a good crowd. They were a good crowd. But yeah, it was a fine show. I would have liked one more match. That's just me. But
sure.
I like the 6-man match format. This one didn't feel as big as kind of the last couple ones. I will say that.
Yeah.
But a solid B.
Such a cool arena, though. Yeah, but I would also give it a B as well. Yeah, no, I would also agree when it comes to this particular crowd. I still don't think anything will really beat. I think for me anyway, it's got to go to Leon. I think that they're the crowd of the year so far.
Yeah, probably so far. I think Berlin's going to crush them. I feel like that crowd's going to be insane. Hopefully Cleveland is good.
Well, we're going to be there, so yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. Jey Uso has the Fireflies now, and that could be keep him out of the Money in the Bank. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But I think that is going to do it for us. I got dinner to eat. He's got kids to feed. So, that will be doing it for us. We will be back tomorrow night. We have the head trainer of the T2 Wrestling Academy. He goes by @OldManLogan on Twitter. Check his profile out. Head trainer of a very inclusive wrestling academy. It's Pride Month, so we are going to stand in solidarity and see what this academy is all about, what makes them tick, and where people can get some more information. So make sure to join us tomorrow night at 6:30. Also, again, please support our merch store. We've got mugs. We've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, tank tops, beanies, not hats. I don't really think the temperature matters when you're wearing a beanie, especially if you're indoors, and it's fine. Yeah. Oh, God. Whatever.
Do you understand the Old Man Logan reference?
I do.
Okay, good. Good. I'm happy for you. Good. Makes me happy.
Okay. Well, good to see you, Mr. OTM. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh. Happy birthday!
Yeah, his birthday's this week. You didn't know? Yeah.
Man,
so it's okay. It's all right. He's, we're his favorite podcast that isn't his own. So it's okay. He can take a night off. It's all right. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll talk Raw, preview NXT. I still need to watch Collision. So if there's anything cool we're talking about, oh Jesus Christ,
dude, Collision was like 3 weeks ago. And if you're talking wrestling terms, you missed it. Sorry, but you did. There was one thing. We can talk about it later.
Okay, so you're gonna give me shit and then say, "Oh yeah, we can talk about it." All right. Okay.
Bye, guys.
For the podcast, Dad, I am Mr. Cincinnati. It's been the Wrestling Junkies podcast. Thank you all so much for joining us. Dude, we had a total of 129 people watching this episode today. Thank you all so very much. Join us again tomorrow. Help us to grow this community. We're just a couple of guys that love talking wrestling and want you to be part of that. Let's all be kind. Let's enjoy each other's company. Let's enjoy wrestling. Let's enjoy life. And good vibes all around. So without further ado, Podcast Dad, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I'm Mr. Cincinnati, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.